The Democrats are wrong. They're getting this like validation. They're getting this feeling of validation of like, oh, Republicans are starting to change their minds and notice, the truth about Israel Palestine. So all the stuff I've been fed for the past 10, 20 years about everything going on with the conflict totally hasn't been susceptible to me reading an article that says this side of the story, reading an article that says this side of the story, and choosing to believe in the side that resonates with my identity that I've attached my beliefs to, attach a moral right and wrong to two sides of it rather than looking at it as complex human beings with complex emotions and motivations in a complex conflict. See, it only appears that the Republicans are switching sides because there is reasonably large group of reasonably minded people who don't get too attached to these ideas, who saw that there was conspiracies on the side of the Democrats, so then they switched over and voted for Trump in 2016, and then they see that Trump is exposed as a pedophile. So then they're switching sides like that. It has nothing to do with Israel Palestine. These people, these reasonable people, do not all of a sudden go like, oh, I get all these articles about all these terrible things Israel was doing. Oh, they're actually bad, the things that they were doing. I get it now. No, they still believe it's a complicated conflict and that a lot of the information that's been given to people is this game of telephone where not only is there too many sources in between the original source and whoever's hearing it, but actually the sources in between are malicious in their intent, so they're not to be trusted. They still think this way. The only difference is there's been a massive shift in the legislators, the people that have the power to change laws. There's been a massive shift in the people advising them, these like dementia-ridden people, because they fell into this conflict of like, okay, Trump, Israel, if he says Israel is right, then Israel is right. And actually, it's been about pedophilia this whole time. That reasonable majority right there, I wouldn't say it's a majority, but you know what, let's call it that. The reasonable majority, let's expect the best of humanity, was kicked out of the left, was kicked out of liberals and progressives for being against pedophilia. Like, you might disagree with that. You might go, oh, actually, these people decided to vote for Trump because they hate gay people. No, we knew what was coming. We saw it coming. I have at least a dozen people who can vouch for me because they were in the same house in the basement right here, and a few others in different instances. This was before Trump even got elected, and I was telling them, hey, all this gay, like LGBT propaganda stuff, it's to funnel in pedophilia. Like, it's the same thing. It's all just sexual degeneracy. I was there. I was there for Gamergate. I saw all this stuff play out. I saw the atheist versus feminist war on YouTube with independent creators get hijacked, and people's identities, the masses' identities of atheists, be manipulated into becoming feminists. That reasonable majority has always seen these kinds of like giving into selfish desires and sexual depravity like pedophilia and homosexuality, which I'll be straight up about it. They look at these things as gross. They look at these things as intuitively wrong and not something to be celebrated or be proud of. And they're things that exist and they're parts of humanity, and we should love each other regardless because we are worth saving even with those dark sides of us. But it's not something to go, yeah, I'm so proud of you for this. This has nothing to do with like, oh, so after Israel sent the 746th bomb, that's when I realized that they were the bad guys. It has everything to do with the fact that Trump got exposed as a pedophile. I'm making this video to say, like, don't be fooled into thinking that, like, wow, so all these stories that I've been, told over all this time that I've chosen to selectively believe and give the benefit of the doubt to this particular side versus the other stories, versus the other side of the story. They're all so true that even people from the other side, I'm being told stories that now they're switching sides because my stories are so true. Wow, I feel so validated in these beliefs. This is just another way to polarize people, put them into groups, put them further deeper into their bubbles, and further divide people. This whole like, oh, so there's these two sides of the conflict. Man. This is the bad guy right here. And the reason why they're the bad guy is because they're evil. And they're evil because they're the bad guy, so that makes them the bad guy. And that every villain is Lemons, evil. So, yeah, no, this is don't let these retarded people further validate their views because of this, shift that's happened recently because Trump got exposed.
Hey, Squidward's on my side!
I most certainly am not.
Then that means he's on my side.
No, SpongeBob, I'm not on your side either. I'm on nobody's side. If you two want to knock each other's brains out with snowballs, kindly leave me out of it.
Come on, SpongeBob, let's go knock each other's brains out!
I'm ready.